I just want to say welcome to each and every one. Once again, welcome to Cruising with the Case Handler, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, this is where we speak on personal injury. We speak on immigration. And there's so much to talk about this morning. It's been a very long weekend. We surely had a very hot one and some serious thunderstorm. I don't know if you guys had it in your areas blazing, but we sure got cooled down. But ladies and gentlemen, come on. It's a Monday. Let's rev it up. Let's get it all turned up. 93.5 WVIP FM listeners, turn up your radios. I've got the attorneys. I've got the Maverick. He's got on his green shirt. He's ready to go. Green means go. All right. I've got, of course, Conrad Pollock. He's ready to beat the crap out of DT. Those of you who know what DT is, you all know what that's all about. And of course, we just can't help ourselves. This dude is always in the news. But we're going to talk about that shortly. Adam Handler just fired up his watch party. And I'd like to remind everybody who is listening to 93.5 FM, you also need to get on Facebook. You need to follow our pages. The attorney's page, ladies and gentlemen, is ppid. Just search for Pollock. As soon as you put Pollock in, boom, there comes the page. All right. Search for the case handler. Boom, Adam Handler's page comes up. You know,
oh boy, is that Squeeze right there?
What's that?
I think I may need to take over, man. Your Wi-Fi connection is not good today. You're real choppy.
Moi? Really?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Listen, it's never me. You know, you sound like Shaggy. It wasn't me. Well, it is you right now. I'm going to give out the phone number. I'm going to tell people what's up.
I'll tell you what. Everything looks good on my side. I'm looking at what's going out, and it looks clean and clear. I don't know. I mean, anything is possible, you know. Nelson, you hear me good? Conrad, you hear me good?
Yeah, but you did come out choppy before.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe I need to shut down a few things here, but 1 gig over 1 gig, it doesn't get better than that, you know. But anyway, so how am I now, guys? Am I good? What?
You're always good.
You are
okay.
Stellar.
All right. Thank you so much. Love that word there. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, right now, remember, this show is about personal injury and immigration. I want for everyone early, get the number. All right. I noticed many people have been calling even since this morning. We've been running a few of the ads, and many people have been reaching out to the firm. The number for the attorneys in the capacity of personal injury, yes, immigration, and even more, real estate, criminal defense, and more. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Now that you got your watch party going, Mr. Case Handler, Mr. Shark, okay, can we jump it off with something up the alley of personal injury today, sir? While I definitely make you a co-host here. There we go.
Listen, I'm sure Conrad will confirm. I'll never not take the opportunity to talk about myself and my practice, right?
This is true. I will agree with that.
And you know what? He better be happy because as partners, we're in this together. That's why I love hearing these success stories with immigration and real estate and all the other wonderful things we do with the firm, because you know we're partners, and what's good for me is good for them. What's good for them is good for me, and we're all in this together. A true team effort. And I find, generally speaking, you know, when you're on a team, you stand a better chance of being a winner, right? You know, a lot of people enjoy doing things on their own and trying to achieve things on their own. But I've always said, what's better to do it than with friends? And I think that's another part of our success, in that we all have our individual practice groups here at Pollock, Isaac, DeSico. We all let each other do our own thing without much interference at all, or any interference at all. And that's why I think, you know, we really are able to provide, you know, top level service for our clients. Some of you, it's a Monday, it's the first day of the week. This may be the first time you're ever tuning into this show on 93.5, or this may be the first time you're ever watching us on Facebook. But just to reiterate, so you understand who we are and what we stand for, my name is Adam Handler. They call me the Case Handler. I have Nelson Madrid, my partner, the immigration attorney on this show. We call him the Maverick. Why? Because he flies by his own rules. He does whatever he needs to do to make sure those individuals who are entitled to legalize their status here in the United States get through. and do it as quickly as possible. And then, of course, we got Conrad, the maestro, Polygon. Why is he the maestro? He's not just a talented musician, but he is the maestro. He is the conductor of this firm in general. His father started this firm decades ago, and Conrad took over the practice in the mid 80s and slowly and surely built it into the full service law firm that we are here today. So couldn't be prouder of these gentlemen, couldn't be prouder of this show, couldn't be more grateful to Squeeze and 93.5 listeners for giving us the opportunity to show you exactly what we do. Let me give out that phone number, then let's talk a little personal injury. Our phone number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID law. What is PPID? Pollock, Isaac, DeSico. PPID law. And without further ado, let's jump into it. It's a Monday morning, and we got to come in hot. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Squeeze? We got to come in hot today?
Yes.
All right, we got to come in hot. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is thecasehandler.com. This is our website. This is a wonderful page that we put together. Ruthie, our marketing coordinator, does a wonderful job updating all our big settlements that we have. I'm just trying to make this a little bit. How do you make your screen bigger? Was it Option plus or Shift plus or Function plus? What is that? Do you know? On the Mac?
On the Mac, I just put my hand on the space bar and spread my fingers.
All right, this is a family show, so let's just let's
on the mouse pad.
Let's start. You know what? This is a great case. The 3.889 verdict. Okay, so let's just so we understand the number here. It's $3,889,000 verdict. This was an individual, a woman that was riding the bus as she does every day to get to and from work. When another bus rear-ended her bus. So an MTA bus collided into another MTA bus, and she fell backwards, and other people standing next to her fell on top of her, crushing her leg. It was her left leg, and she had a tibial plateau fracture, which is a very, very serious fracture. Your leg is comprised of your femur, your tibia, and your fibula. And she had a major fracture in that joint, which required hardware and surgical intervention. Sorry, I couldn't get the word out. And this was a case in which the MTA was clearly responsible because it was an MTA vehicle on both ends of it. But there was a very big dispute as to what this injury was worth. And even throughout the trial, the MTA never wanted to pay more than $1 million. And that sounds like a lot of money. Why would you turn away $1 million? I'll tell you why we would turn away $1 million. Because she had past medical bills. She was no longer able to work. She couldn't put any pressure on her legs. She had to use a cane for the rest of her life. And she would have definitely required, and the doctors, even from the MTA, because when you go to bring a case to court, not only are your doctors coming to court, but the MTA will hire their own doctors to evaluate and say, oh, it's pre-existing, or oh, she's faking it, or oh, it's not as bad as it seems. That doctor even said that she was more likely than not going to need a knee replacement in the future. So there would have been future medical bills. And like we always say, you got one chance and one chance only to get it right. There are no redos in personal injury cases. So you got to get the maximum possible money the first and only time that you're permitted to bring a case. So we say it all the time. You got one chance to get it right. One choice of a lawyer. And we hope it's your case handler team at Pollock, Isaac, DeSico. Anyway, they wouldn't offer more than $1 million during trial. And then they went up to $1.5 million during the trial, which we turned down. And to make a long story short, very short, the jury came back with $3.889 million. Now,
that's coming in hot.
That's coming in hot. And those are serious numbers. But I got to tell you, when you turn down $1,500,000, you better be really sure that your case is going in strong. You better be sure that the jury is following what you're saying and is believing in you. And I just knew that between the numbers we were putting up of lost wages and medical bills, in addition to the jury nodding their head every time I opened my mouth, I knew we had them. I didn't know it was going to be 3.889, but I certainly knew they were going to give more than $1.5 million. And that was a very calculated risk that we thought about for several days before deliberations. And the client said to me, like most clients say to me, we have full faith in you, Mr. Handler. You are our lawyer for a reason. We know you are going to do a great job, and we know you're going to give us sound, sage advice. And we worked through it, and it came out exactly how we needed it to. $3.889 million for a wonderful client, tax-free. She certainly went through a lot, and will go through a lot in the future, but she had one chance to get it right. And she seized that opportunity by calling 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. I'm Adam Handler. I am your case handler, and I'd love to hear what's going on in the immigration department right now.
We're coming in hot, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Tosh, Adam Handler. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we do it right here, making it a show. And once again, we want to say thanks to each and every one for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called Cruising with the Case Handler each and every single weekday morning. You can check it out right here. I really look forward to this show every morning. I mean, it's one of the things I truly look forward to every day, because I know the show really helps so many people that's out there. And I want to say thanks to Adam Handler. I mean, hands down, everybody though, on this station, even all the broadcasters, they know it. If anyone gets hurt, anyone who is listening to the station or not even listening to the station, you all just need to call one man. And that one man is the Shark, AKA the case handler. Just him, nobody else. He will handle everything. I've had firsthand experience recently, okay, where someone called me and I conferenced him. And this dude, man, he was like telling them, okay, well, fine. Oh, you want to do that? Okay, no problem. We have people in your location, in your area. He was handling it. It was like he knew it like the back of his hand. So if you get hurt in an accident, slip and fall, construction accident, medical malpractice, automobile accident, any accident, you get burned with something. All right, whatever. Just call this man, Adam Handler. His number, once again, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529. Reach out to my personal injury attorney, because you've got one chance, one choice to get the maximum compensation. So you choose the case handler. All right, gentlemen, let's flip it from personal injury to immigration for a bit. We've got some immigration questions already coming in. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you place your immigration questions on the screen. If you're watching Facebook, I hope you are. You can see how good looking this panel is. Okay, place your questions there, and we will get your questions read off to the attorneys, and they will answer. PPID, Pollock, Isaac, and the C code. We'll give you the locations later on and give you an update as to if and when they're opening, considering the spikes all over the nation. But let's jump to Conrad Pollock, the managing partner, practicing attorney. Maverick is on standby. Okay, in that bright green shirt, he's ready to go. All right, Conrad, I know you want to talk about a lot, based on our president and what he is up to and his retweeting and all of this stuff that he's put out there. I put something in the group. I will let you say your piece before we get to the questions.
All right. Well, good morning, and thanks for having us as usual. It's been 3.5 months now, I think, we're approaching, that we've been doing this, which is it's been fun. It's been an experience. It certainly is a memorable experience, will be a memorable one. What's on my mind right now? I just earlier this morning over coffee with my wife, I was reading an article about USCIS and how they blew through their surplus. We've been talking about how USCIS is running out of money, and they're about to raise their fees very soon. In fact, there's a final rule coming down any day, raising their fees. They're out of money. They're trying to get a 1.2 bailout from Congress. And I was just reading, there was a study done by NYU, and I just sent it to you guys. And basically, when Trump came in, he inherited a surplus, all right? A pretty sizable surplus. And the year after that, immigration took in more money than they had ever taken in before. All right, here we are now, 3.5 years later, 2.5 years since they had their record income in 2017, and they're out of money. Does it sound familiar?
Go figure.
Yeah. And they talk about the reasons. Fees typically reviewed, increases in fees are typically reviewed every 2 years. They dropped the ball, waited 4 years, 5 years, whatever, and that's why the fees that are going to be going up are going to be sizable. 60% increase in citizenship, application fees, and various others across the board. And that's not even enough. Because of the budget shortfall, immigration, the service is threatening to furlough 3/4 of their workforce. They have 18,000 people. They had 15,000 previously. All right, and as the fees started to dry up, what did immigration do? Just like a good manager managing a budget, they hired more people. As they're making less money, they hired more people. They made applications much more difficult to process. They made it much more complicated. They also increased this new payroll, by the way, the additional 3,000 people they hired. The vast majority of them were brought in to man these new anti-fraud agencies or anti-fraud departments within the immigration service to weed out what they considered to be fraud. Of course, there was absolutely no indication that there was any fraud, but similar to the alleged voter fraud that's out there, and the same thing that they did when Trump first came in and created this anti-fraud voter agency. What it disbanded luckily within 6 months because there was no voter fraud. That's a fraud in itself. They did the same thing here, except that those people continue to be on payroll, even though they haven't demonstrated the fraud that they're supposed to be combating. Still, they brought in all these people, plowed through that surplus for various other reasons as well. And here we are. They're about to furlough 3/4 of the agency. And what's that going to do? Maybe create a little chaos with the immigration service, which maybe that's what they want. 3/4 of the staff is going to be furloughed. That means all the people out there that are processing their applications for their family, trying to get their family into the country, let's put the bars aside. And that's a different matter. But people that are still eligible to get their parents or get their kids in or get their spouses in, the immigration's gonna furlough 3/4 of their workforce. You know what that's gonna mean. It means these cases that you've been filing are gonna take forever. They're already taking a year or two. They're gonna take double that probably. So this is what we're facing. Bottom line, vote. If you can, vote in November, and let's get rid of these people so we can get an orderly system going again. This is just, it's, as I've said before, it's just pure lunacy what we're dealing with here. How's that for my morning diatribe, Squeeze?
I think that is great. I'm quite sure that Nelson would like to add. So you just heard from Conrad Pollock, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is at the helm of the firm. PPID, remember the number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW on personal injury, on immigration. Maverick, what say you this morning?
I'm just stunned by all of the changes that the administration has tried to implement from its inception up until now. There's proposed changes to the asylum process, which would in essence gut the asylum process and make it that much more difficult for people seeking asylum within the United States.
Practically impossible.
They're basically, some of the proposed changes include, if you are traveling by plane to the United States and you make 2 stops, you're ineligible for asylum. If you are traveling to the United States by plane and happen to have a layover and you stop for an hour, you are ineligible for asylum because you were supposed to ask that other country for asylum before asking asylum from the United States. Employment authorizations, people were eligible for employment authorizations after 150 days of filing their asylum application. Now they're making people wait a year. And again, this has just been, a recurring theme with immigration, special immigrant juvenile status. That basically allowed children under the age of 21 who were unable to reunify with either one or both parents to remain in the United States and obtain a green card. New York had to bring a class action because basically the Trump administration woke up one day and said, you know what, that law has been misinterpreted for the last 10 years. New York was successful, and these children are still eligible, but in the interim, a lot of children's cases were denied. So, again, it almost feels surreal. I'm watching this happen firsthand, and it's just somewhat difficult to process.
Yeah, you didn't mention what about if you're a U.S. citizen and you want to bring your parents here? You immigrated to Jamaica a few years ago, from Jamaica a few years ago, and now you want to bring your parents in. Well, because of this travel ban, even though you're a U.S. citizen, you can't bring in your 80-year-old mother because there's a ban, right? Because under the pretext, they're going to take jobs away from American workers, all right? So you want to bring in your parents that are in their 80s, and you want them in their golden years to spend some time with you in the United States so they're close by, they can see their grandchildren, all right? Can't do it anymore because of this travel ban, because again, they're going to take jobs away from American workers. So you can't bring your parents in. I mean, the list just goes on and on.
Right.
And
well,
on.
that
crazy.
That's
stuff.
That's my point. I mean, obviously, I could go on for over an hour, but I obviously it's a time show. But again, you wake up in the morning and you start thinking about all of these things, right? And I've been doing this for 13 years. I feel like I'm fresh out of law school. Because there's been so many changes, and it seems like every other week there's something new that the administration is trying to do to make it harder for people to legalize their status or to help their family legalize their status.
Here's what
I was reading I'm sorry, you want to give the phone number once before I go off?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, with all this information that you attorneys are giving, and people are listening to us on 93.5 FM, people are watching us on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to work on your case yourself? Do you want to go and file your papers yourself in this with this administration? No, you don't. I mean, I speak with these attorneys every day, and you'd be amazed at how many people have screwed up their paperwork and had to come to them now to get it done all over again. Don't do your case yourself. Not in this era, all right? Pick up the phone. As a matter of fact, everybody that calls the law firm now will get a 100% free phone consultation. 100% free phone consultation. Everyone that calls right now, you're going to get a free phone consultation. Dial this number. The number is 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. It's a phone consultation. You'll speak with one of the attorneys off the airwaves, ladies and gentlemen. You can ask them as many questions as you want. I mean, of course, it's not going to be no 1 hour consultation or a half hour consultation, but just ask them the questions before you go file papers and do all of that stuff. Speak to them and then hire them, retain them. They'll work out some payment plan for you. Okay. Once again, everyone tuning into the radio station, everyone watching us on Facebook, I'm about to give out a number. Dial that number now, right this second, and you're guaranteed a 100% free phone consultation. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Easily remembered. 844 ppid LAW. Back to you, Conrad.
Another thing I was reading over the weekend, Indian Americans tend to be a conservative bloc, similar to Cuban Americans. They tend to vote Republican. They tend to be on the conservative side of the spectrum. And I was reading how that's one of the reasons that Trump went to India earlier this year to visit Modi, who's the prime minister there, and very authoritarian guy doing his own thing over there, as the leader of Brazil is doing, and other authoritarian leaders in the country, in the world. And now with this recent travel ban, which affects H-1B workers, I believe 70% or so of the H-1B workers come in from India. And H-1Bs are for professionals, typically computer programmers, tech, software developers, things like that, or occupations like that. So you've got 70% of these people coming from India, which here he's trying to, on the one hand, cultivate them as a voting bloc, and then he shoots himself in the foot by barring most of them from coming in here, which, again, typical. So, and the point of this article was that if there were a dictator or some authoritarian ruler out there trying to hurt the United States, he couldn't have come up with a better plan to do it than Trump has done himself by denying the United States this level of talent, this level of intelligence. These are people, by the way, that go to school here. They get their diplomas and they get their expertise here, and then they have to leave. They can't get their green cards now. They send them back to India. So of course, these people are going to go, instead of going to the US, they're going to go to Canada. They're going to go to Germany. They're going to go to China. They're going to go to England. All right, they're going to go anywhere but the United States. So if there was a plan, a plot out there by some mean-spirited or enemies of the United States that wanted to hurt us, I mean, they couldn't come up with a better plan than Trump has to enhance this brain drain that we are experiencing. It's, again, it's become my favorite word, but it's just sheer lunacy what is going on here. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, except it makes sense only to his crowd, to his base, that they just want every immigrant out of here, no matter what the cost, no matter what the result, just make America white again. That basically is the plan.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. To the point, Conrad Pollack. We're going to the top of the hour now. If you would like to continue, because we're about to start answering the questions here on the Cruising with the Case Handler show, which is a show on personal injury and immigration, you can switch over to Facebook, my page, David Squeezaniki, the firm's page, PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, Adam Handler's page, the Case Handler, and ladies and gentlemen, we're about to actually put those questions out there. However, more importantly, you need to dial this number now. Let it ring 10, 15 seconds, store the number. Also, speak with someone right now, book a consultation to speak with one of the attorneys, okay, for free. The number is 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. Hurt in an accident? Get the Case Handler. 844-774-3529. Let's switch it over right now. Okay. All right, gentlemen. We are ready to rock and roll. Okay. Get these questions on the road. All right. Adam, you good over there, man?
Yeah, man. I'm just looking at my Facebook watch party. My friend David just gave Nelson a shout out. And in fact, I was over a friend's house yesterday in his backyard, different guy. He goes, yeah, I watch your show in the morning. I love this Nelson guy.
Everybody loves Nelson. There goes a show. There goes a spinoff. Everybody loves Nelson.
He's the Maverick. Nobody says, hey, Handler, I love your show. You do a great job. Or, hey, Handler, you and Pollack have a lot of information for us. It's, I love Nelson. He's just flies by his own.
He's the character himself. It's like everybody loves Nelson.
I wait, before we actually start answering questions, I have a question for Adam. Adam, I've heard this before, and I don't know if it's true. I've heard of situations where someone settles a personal injury lawsuit, and a year or two later, the insurance company comes back and determines there was fraud, and that person has to give back some money. Person said hypothetically they couldn't walk, and all of a sudden they catch them, running a marathon or something.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
You've never heard that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In fact, when you settle a case, you sign what's called a release. And it's essentially a binding contract. I mean, you sign it, you have it notarized. There's consideration. We all learned what consideration was in law school. Whenever anybody does a deal, somebody's got to give something, somebody's got to get something. You give up your rights to go to trial, right? To have a jury of your peers decide what your case is worth in exchange for an amount of money, whether it's $50,000, $100,000, $1 million. So it's a binding contract. No, I've never heard that. I'm interested. I mean, I just don't see how it would be possible, because there would be, people do make recoveries. I've had clients that, during the 2-3 years of litigation are in terrible, horrible pain. And then 5 years later, they'll call me up, or I'll see them and I'll say, how you doing? They're saying, I'm doing much better. I'm back to work. you know, so, and is no way to really tell how somebody's going to do in the future. But I've had situations where I've been on trial. This happened a couple of years ago. I had a case where a lady injured her knee and had a surgery. It was actually a really weird case. Her daughter was being attacked by a dog, and she jumped in to, you know, rescue her daughter. And in doing so, the dog knocked her over and she slammed her knee on the ground. And the daughter had bites on her leg, and the mom had this knee injury. And the case was brought against the owner of the dog. You go through the homeowner's policy, and it turns out that this dog was a vicious dog. In fact, we got the vet records from like 2 weeks before. That's because I guess there was another incident that said that this dog should be put down. I mean, that's how serious it is. A German Shepherd, how serious it was, and they didn't do anything about it. And as soon as you know that your dog has a vicious propensity, you are liable if that dog causes injuries. You know, they say the first bite is free. If your dog bites somebody, you've never seen it before, you would have no way of knowing that. But once your dog acts a fool the first time, you're on the hook. And the point of my story is she was a runner, and that was part of our case, that she was unable to run as she used to. And right before trial, she ran a 5K. I had no idea she did it, but she ran a 5K. And they went on a website and saw her name and saw her times. But my counter to that was that she finished 2 minutes slower than she did before the accident. And the jury, you know, agreed that, you know, listen, even if you're 2 minutes slower, that's still a damage. Now, this was never a multi-million-dollar case. I think she got $75,000, which was fair compensation for what she had been through over those few years leading up to the trial. But the jury didn't give her any future damages because they felt that she was on track to being better again. So, you know, in a personal injury case, you have two elements essentially of damages: past damages and future damages. And people do make recoveries, bodies do heal, surgeries do work, but that doesn't, I don't want to say alleviate, I can't think of the right word this morning, but it doesn't negate a defendant's responsibility to compensate somebody for what they've been through, right? They don't have to necessarily give them compensation for future pain and suffering or future medical bills, but you certainly are entitled to past pain and suffering and past medical bills. And that you mentioned the marathon made me think of that. And just another example why you need a lawyer that's going to fight for you and get the maximum amount, whether it's past pain and suffering or future pain and suffering or just past pain and suffering. But you have one chance to get it right, one choice of lawyer. And if you call 844-774-3529 or 844 ppid law, you will be connected to really, 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 really good attorneys that are going to fight to make sure that you get exactly what you're entitled to under the law.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Handler definitely taking care of business with us. Okay, made sure he finished that over at 93.5 there. He wanted to get that over there. So
we also have a shout out on Facebook. Nelson is the best.
Nelson is the best. You hear that? All
Nelson,
right, so listen.
You have a call here.
Yeah, everyone loves Nelson, man. I'm telling you, and that's the spinoff of the show. All right, let's jump to the immigration questions, gentlemen. Once again, always remember, I'm reading verbatim, all right? If an I-130 was approved in 2009 and I didn't get my green card, can I still get it? I had paid my fees, but I didn't receive any mail to take action on my case. Until today, I learned my case was approved.
Well, who applied for him? What kind of case was it? If the petition was approved and whoever applied, his parent, his spouse, his sibling, applied for him, and it's still out there and that person is still alive, there shouldn't be an issue. Even if, depending on who it is, even if the person is deceased, he might still be eligible, but we need more details. I mean, that's just, there are too many variables there for us to answer that question definitively.
Right, that's what I thought. All right, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, do remember the number for the firm, okay, when it comes to personal injury or immigration is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, 844 ppid law. All right, here's another question. My husband is currently in the process of removing conditions of marriage from his green card, I-797 form. and we've already sent in all proof that our marriage was started in good faith. However, I caught him being unfaithful 3 weeks ago.
There's always a however in
our
these
marriage.
cases.
Yeah, I wish to terminate our marriage. He's scared that his 797 now is not going to go through if I file the divorce papers now. I told him it doesn't matter because when we did get married, it was in good faith. Will my filing for divorce be an issue?
It certainly will. He's right. He's got problems. It is possible, depending how far along the process is, it is possible, even with the divorce, to get this thing straightened out and him get his green card and everybody live happily ever after. But they need to get that divorce done quickly, and then they need to notify the immigration service. It's not just a question of
he needs to get an attorney. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they certainly need to get a lawyer, but it's not just a question of was the marriage valid at the time of inception. The question also is, it is valid. Is it a valid marriage today? If it's not, they're gonna have an interview most likely, and they're gonna have to go to the interview together, and they're gonna have to convince the immigration service that it is a valid marriage. If they can't do that, which obviously they're not gonna be able to do that without lying, he's not gonna get his green card, and they're gonna have all kinds of problems. He will end up in removal proceedings, and they will try to remove him from the United States. They need to get a divorce. They need to call us ASAP because they've got problems.
Also, the form is not a 797. It's actually a 751.
Right.
It's application to remove the conditions.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why I say, stop trying to do this yourself. Let the professionals do it. Let the attorneys do it. Get a free phone consultation with the firm right now. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. All right.
It's true. That person probably wants to call us now because after the case gets denied and after he gets put into removal proceedings, he's going to spend a lot more money in legal fees than he would today.
All right. All right. Here's the final question from WhatsApp. Urgent. Hello, guys. My OPT is denied because USCIS did not receive my application within 30 days of the I-20 date. I was informed that I can file a motion for appeal by using form I-290B, but my grace period is ending on June 30th. Well, that's more. Program end date is April 30th. In this case, I am eligible to reapply for the OPT, ? If not, what is the earliest date I need to leave the US?
I wish I could answer that. I wish we had the time to answer all of those questions during the show. Unfortunately, we can't. First off, this person should be talking to his foreign student advisor. I mean, this is not something that this person should be handling himself. They need to be talking to the school. As far as the deadlines, it depends on everything happened, when he graduated, when he filed, when he was denied. Typically, there's 30 days to put in a motion. And you're not going to appeal this. You're going to make a motion for reconsideration, or a motion for reinstatement. This is not something I'm going to be able to answer on this show. They would need to call us, and we could go into the details at that point. But he's got problems. He's got problems.
And it's very, very important that you call this number, ladies and gentlemen. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Want to say a super pleasant good morning to Linda Shaw on behalf of the panel right here. Let's jump over to this page right here. Got a question here. We are 30 families from Armenia who has faced a situation of uncertainty and unfairness of all times. We had our DV visa because of the lockdown. We were unable to travel. We contacted the embassy before the expiration date. They assured us they will give us an instruction for visa renewal. Please help us. I don't know.
He's in trouble. The DV is the lottery, the diversity visa lottery, which is every year. And basically, among the various rules, one of the principal rules, probably the most in this case, they have to get their visa. They have to get their green card. Everything has to be done. Case approved, visa stamped, everything done before the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. First off, the consulates are closed, so he's got a problem there. They're going to be reopening. Maybe they can help him out. I don't know. Bigger problem is they're subject to the bar. In fact, there's a lawsuit that's about to be filed on behalf of these DV diversity visa lottery applicants soon, because the travel ban affects them. And if there's a travel ban in place until the end of the year, obviously that December 31st is after September 30th. So basically, even if you got selected, you're going to be banned and you lose your chance. So 50,000 people per year out of millions that submit those applications worldwide get in and have a chance to get their green cards. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it. I can't imagine, unless this federal suit that's about to be filed in the next week or two creates an injunction and they put a stop to the travel ban affecting DV applicants, this person he's got a problem. He's not going to probably get his green card.
Okay. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cruising with the Case Handler, weekdays, 8:30 a.m. Once again, I need for everyone to have the phone number, dial it, let it ring for 15, 20 seconds, store the number. You can consultation right this second. Call 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529. I'm going to ask the guy that's making a lot of noise over on the other side in that colorful shirt over there in the top left-hand corner to conclude and take us out after he touches on personal injury. Adam.
Making a lot of noise. Aren't I a mute man?
That's messing with you, man.
Listen,
awful quiet over there.
We do this show every day, and the overwhelming response is mind-blowing. We see the calls coming in. We've literally have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people call over the time during this pandemic, getting those free consultations over the phone. We've expanded our client base tremendously through our efforts here on Facebook, Instagram, 93.5. And I think we've been so successful because of the message we're sending. We are a law firm that cares. We are a law firm that's giving back to the communities that have embraced us for so many years. I personally have helped, at this point, probably 5,000 people with their personal injury cases. We've obtained over $120 million for our clients. Conrad's been doing this since the mid-'80s, tens of thousands of people. We are not afraid to take the hard case, but if it's not something we can help you with, we're certainly not going to be taking your money. We pride ourselves on not giving refunds, and a lot of law firms out there pride themselves on not giving refunds for the wrong reasons. But we pride ourselves on not giving refunds because we are not taking your case unless we feel within a reasonable degree of legal certainty, right? Those are legal phrases there, that we're able to help you. Obviously there are things that happen during the course of any case where we can't really expect it and don't see it coming. And then we have to figure a way, to navigate through that. But rest assured, if you are a client of Pollock, Isaac DeSico, it's because we believe in you, we believe in your case, and we believe in our efforts to bring your case to the most successful resolution possible. So if that's something important to you and important to your family, having lawyers that want to do it the right way, having lawyers that will treat you like family, you will do what thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people have done before you. And that's give us a call and allow us to be of assistance to you and your family. Our phone number again is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529, or 844-PPID law. Give us a shot. We are here to help. We want to help. And just with everybody's blessing and support, we're going to continue to do the amazing job that we've been doing over these decades. So again, we are Pollock, Isaac DeSico. I am your boy, Adam Handler, the case handler. Squeeze, are you down with PPID?
Hey, you know me.
Exactly. 844-774-3529. It's going to be a great week. It is a interesting year so far. We're more than halfway through it. So let's see what we can do on the other side of 2020. 844-774-3529. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. get that free phone consultation. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to know where you stand as far as legalizing your status here in the United States. And if we can help you, please give us the opportunity to do so. We can change your life and change your family's life for generations to come. 844 PPID law, 844-774-3529.
There you have it, folks. Thank you so much, Adam Handler, aka the Shark, but we like to call him the case handler.
The baby
All right. All right. So I want to say thanks, Nelson. Thanks, Conrad. It's been a great show. And once again, folks, if you want to speak with any of the attorneys, you can call them now. They're getting off. Call this number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. With that said, have yourself an amazing day, and please stay safe as things are slowly getting back into the red in other areas. You know, let's just try to keep this side very, very real, and just by you doing all the right things to stay safe. Thank you so much. Have yourself an amazing day, like I said.